Now take the microphone and tell me why you had to get surgery because of a man. Tell me why you did a BBL, why you did breast enlargement surgery, not because you wanted to, but because you thought it would make a man stay. Because you were scared he'd stop loving you if you didn't look like the women he double taps on Instagram. True life story, a beautiful woman reached out to me recently. She said her husband always stared at women with BBLs, always admired them, wouldn't even hide it. And one day, he told her straight, you should get one. She didn't want to. She was scared. But he kept pushing. He kept saying it would make her look better, that he'd love her more. And because she didn't want to lose her marriage, she agreed. Weeks after the surgery, complications, pain, in and out of the hospital for months, her health going down fast. And guess where her husband is? In every woman's DM, laughing, flirting, entertaining other women. No support, no care, no loyalty. She risked her life, and he's already moved on with women who never sacrificed a thing for him. So again, take the mic and tell me, why are you doing this for him? If you're the kind of woman who's been giving and giving, hoping he'll finally choose you, if you ever begged for bare minimums like consistency, then this video isn't just for you. It's a mirror, and I'm not here to flatter you. I'm here to wake you up, because there are things a woman should never do for a man. Let's start with the first mistake, introducing him to your friends and family when he hasn't introduced you to his. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you tried to prove your love by presenting him to your world, hoping it would make him commit? You post him, you bring him to the family cookout, you tell your friends how amazing he is. Meanwhile, you don't even know what his sister's name is. You've never met his mom. You don't even know if his friends know you exist. And you still think that's love? Let me tell you what it really is. It's you doing wife things for a man who still acts like he's single. It's you performing, trying to prove your loyalty before he even earned your trust. You know what a man does when he values a woman? He shows her off. He brings her into his world without her begging. He doesn't hide her behind, I'm a private person, while posting memes with his boys every 2 hours. When you introduce a man who hasn't introduced you, you're not just being loyal, you're being used. Because you've already declared to everyone that you've chosen him before he's ever chosen you. Now you're emotionally invested in someone who hasn't even claimed you in return. And that's not love. That's a trap. Number 2, don't give him sex unless he has spent a good amount of money and time on you. Let's stop pretending. These men won't even send you $1 for your hair. They won't buy you lunch. They won't even call you consistently. But the minute you show skin, they're ready. Suddenly, they want to see you. They want to come over. They're free at midnight, but never when you need help. And here you are, giving them sex. For what? Attention? To prove you're wifey material? No, baby. You're being used. Let me ask you a real question. Would he give you money if you weren't offering sex? Exactly. So why are you giving him sex when he's given you nothing? You are not a reward for a man doing the bare minimum. And sex is not a bonding tool for a man who hasn't invested a single thing in you. If he hasn't spent real money on you, if he hasn't taken you on actual dates, booked flights, made you feel cared for, protected you, prioritized you, he should not be laying next to you, breathing your air, touching your body. Don't let any broke man convince you that you're cheap for having standards. What's cheap is sleeping with someone who hasn't given you anything but headaches and potential. If he wants access to your body, he needs to pay the price. And no, I'm not talking about prostitution. I'm talking about value, effort, time, investment, provision. If he won't do that, let him go find someone else to use. You are not free access. You're not community service. You are the prize. And prizes are not handed out for free. Number 3, giving or lending a man money. Let me say this loud so the women in the back and the ones in love with potential can hear me. You are not a financial plan. You are a woman. When a man needs money, he should look for a job, not a girlfriend. But you thought being ride or die meant overdrafting your account so he could pay his phone bill. You thought love meant, if he's down, I got him. So you gave and gave. And then when he ghosted you, you were stuck waiting for him to remember to pay you back. Some of you are paying for men who wouldn't even pull a chair for you in public. You're spotting his rent. You're funding his business. You're feeding a man who brings nothing but confusion to your soul. That's not love. That's a liability. A man who lets you struggle financially to support him isn't your man. He's your dependent. And every time you hand over money, hoping he'll finally respect you, you don't realize you're slowly becoming his mother, not his partner. And when he finally stands on his own 2 feet, he'll walk away from you like you were the problem all along. Number 4, getting surgery just because he likes a certain body type. You looked at yourself in the mirror, and suddenly your thighs weren't good enough. Your chest wasn't full enough. Your stomach was too soft. And all of a sudden, the body that carried you through heartbreak, childhood, and healing became a project. But who gave you that idea? Let's be honest. It wasn't coming from you. It was the way he talked about that girl on Instagram. It was the jokes about stretch marks. It was the subtle comparisons, the way he scrolled past you like you were invisible, but lingered a little too long when a video of a BBL model popped up. And now, here you are, researching surgeons, comparing prices, risking your life for male approval that still won't stay loyal. If you change your body for a man, you will hate yourself every time he still disrespects you. Because here's the thing. You could have the perfect body. You could look like every fantasy he ever mentioned, and he will still cheat. If his character was never rooted in loyalty to begin with. And worse, when you've changed everything about yourself to keep him and he leaves, you're not just heartbroken. You're broken, period. Because now, not only did he leave, but you're left with a version of yourself that doesn't even feel like you anymore. 5, sending him nudes to keep his attention. Some of you are out here sending pieces of yourself through a screen just to get a seen notification in return. And you tell yourself, this will remind him of what he has. No, sis. It reminds him that he doesn't have to try. Because you'll give him everything without asking for anything. You're giving him the most intimate parts of you, and he's not even giving you the decency of consistency. You think it's harmless, but deep down, you feel it. You feel the shame after. Let me be real with you. A man who only values you when you're naked will never love the woman you are when you're fully clothed. He's not in love with you. He's addicted to access. And every time you press send, you lower the price of your soul. You turn your body into currency for a man who won't even spend time learning your heart. 6, letting him tell you how to dress, post, or speak. So, he wants to control how you dress, tells you your skirt is too short, your Instagram is too much, but this man is out here still liking bikini pics, still talking to his homegirls, and still posting like he's a single man on vacation. Make it make sense. You're letting someone with no discipline police your presentation. You're shrinking your voice, your beauty, your joy, just so he doesn't feel threatened. And here's the plot twist. It's never about the clothes. It's about control. Because a man who's truly secure in who he is doesn't feel the need to dim your light just to feel brighter. A real man doesn't compete with you. He covers you. He protects your spirit, not just his pride. But some of you are in relationships where you're constantly apologizing for being seen. You change your captions, you delete your old photos, you dress down when he's around. And yet, he still finds a reason to criticize you. That's not love, that's surveillance. Number 7, helping him heal from an ex while he's still texting her. You're wiping tears that another woman caused. You're listening to his trauma stories like a bedtime lullaby. You're sitting on FaceTime, coaching him through his triggers, being patient, being understanding, because you want to be the woman who finally teaches him how to love. And he's still texting his ex just to check on her. He's still keeping her on his Instagram. He's still acting confused. But you're not confused. You know exactly what's happening. You just don't want to admit it, because it would mean accepting that all your effort still didn't earn his heart. Let me tell you something that will free you. It is not your job to help a man heal if he hasn't decided to let go of the wound. You are not his rehabilitation center. You are not a stand-in for closure. You are a woman, not a healing assignment. And if a man truly wanted to move on, he wouldn't be accidentally liking her photos. He's not healing, he's juggling. He's using you as his soft place to land while he decides if he still misses the girl who broke him. And no amount of empathy will make a man forget a woman he's still emotionally tied to. You will bring yourself out trying to fix what he refuses to let go of. 8. Taking him back after cheating because you love him. Let's tell the truth today. You didn't take him back because you forgave him. You took him back because you were afraid of starting over, afraid of being alone, afraid that the next girl would get the version of him you prayed for. So now you're here, sleeping beside a man who once chose someone else over you and calling it healing. But every time he's on his phone too long, every time he leaves the room to take a call, every time he goes out with the boys, your stomach drops, your heart races, and that little voice in your head starts asking, is it happening again? Because deep down, you know, you don't trust him. You've just learned to doubt yourself instead. A man who betrays you once and sees that you'll still be there now knows he doesn't need to value you to keep you. He just needs to apologize well. And some of them, they've mastered the art of apology. They'll cry, they'll beg, they'll promise therapy. And 2 weeks later, they're back in the DMs of women they swore they didn't even like. You don't take a man back because you love him. You take him back when he's done being the man who broke you in the first place. But if he's still the same man, you're not staying for love. You're staying for what you hoped it could become. 9. Letting him live in your apartment because he's figuring things out. This one, it's personal, because I've seen too many good women turn their peace into a crash pad for grown boys who refuse to become men. Let me guess, he moved in temporarily. He just needed a place to stay while he sorted things out. He was in between jobs or saving up for a place. And you, with your big heart and nurturing spirit, said, yes, you let him in. And now you're paying rent for 2 while he plays video games on your couch and calls it processing. Let me say this clear. If a man can lay in your bed every night, eat your groceries, breathe your peace, and still not have a plan, that is not a man. That is a grown dependent. You're not his girlfriend. You're his mother. You're cooking, cleaning, supporting, and he still has the audacity to act like you nag too much when you ask him about his job applications. The most dangerous place a woman can be is in love with a man she's also raising. The minute a man starts getting comfortable with taking from you, he stops planning to build with you. So, here you are, sitting with the weight of everything I just said. Maybe you're thinking about the man in your life right now. Maybe you're thinking about a version of yourself that you barely recognize. Let me tell you something I wish someone told me when I was younger. Love should never cost you your dignity. It should never cost you your boundaries. It should never ask you to abandon yourself just to feel chosen. And if it does, that's not love. That's a performance. Don't beg to be loved. Don't perform to be valued. Don't sacrifice your peace for the promise of maybe.